in England, and we won a championship together in England. And when it was time for me to leave Cleveland, me and Nick had a little bit of dialogue. He got the head coaching job in Toronto. He said, "Hey, I want you to come." And that was just a relationship that we had 20 years ago. And I tell you what, if I would have been a lazy player or somebody with no character, I guarantee you he would not have hired me to be on his coaching staff. So again, the relationships are important. How you build them, what kind of impression you leave upon people are important. So I go to Toronto. I had no idea that Kawhi Leonard was coming to Toronto. So 2 days after I signed my contract, the Toronto Raptors trade for Kawhi Leonard. And I'm sitting here in my house, and I'm saying, no way. There is no way that Kawhi Leonard is coming to Toronto. So for me personally, I go from Kobe to Kyrie to LeBron, and now have an opportunity to work with Kawhi Leonard. These are arguably four of the best players to ever play. Definitely LeBron and Kobe, two of the best players to ever put on basketball shoes. I pinch myself a lot. I mean, I'm telling you, I pinch myself a lot. So Kawhi comes to Toronto. I don't know Kawhi. I have zero relationship with him. And so the common denominator I want you guys to understand with all of these stories, every last one of my relationships with these players was built on the floor. It wasn't, hey, let's talk. No, we built our relationship on the court. I got on the court with them. I worked with them. I gave them my passion, and they saw how passionate I was. Our relationship became bigger than basketball. Just through the work that we did on the floor. And that's how I've been able to be successful with these guys. And obviously, we go to Toronto and we're able to make history there. We win the first NBA championship outside of the United States. And believe me, that's an unbelievable feeling. Unbelievable thing to be a part of, to win a championship in Toronto for that. And not just for Toronto, but the country of Canada. It was a pretty awesome feeling. And so now that takes me to now back in Los Angeles. Me and LeBron are back together again, and hopefully we can try to create some more history in LA. It's going to be a daunting task for us. I think the NBA next year is going to be very, very tough. But I just wanted to kind of share, some bits and pieces of my story so you guys understand where I come from and how I've gotten to this point in my life. And I think at this point in my career, I'm on my mission. And I told Corey this, my mission is to really be global. I want to share my knowledge on a global scale. I want to go to as many different places as I can to help coaches, understand what I see and give you what I see, and try to leave an impression in terms of how the game of basketball should be taught and how we should approach it as coaches. Because again, as coaches, when we're dealing with young players, I'm assuming a lot of you deal with young kids, you're teaching at the very beginning ages, you guys are very important. Okay? I don't care what nobody says to you. Okay? NBA is whatever it is. You guys are the most important coaches in the industry because you're the first coaches that kids see. You're the first voice that they hear in terms of basketball. So your voice could make them want to play or could make them want to quit. That's how important your job is as a coach with youth. Okay, and then again, just the positivity. We can be stern, we can be hard, we can be disciplinary without being totally negative, right? And again, you guys will see my coaching style. I'm no nonsense, but at the same time, I'm loving and I'm endearing with my athletes because I want them to trust me. Right? Coaching is about trust. It's not about how well you can draw plays. I want to give you guys ingredients to understand what coaching is about. It's about relationships. How can I build a relationship with you for you to trust me, right? As a coach, when the ball goes up in the air, I want you to run through that wall so we can win a game, correct? How do you do that? Kids have to trust you. Players have to trust you. They have to trust that your intentions with them is purely for them to become a better basketball player, plain and simple. And through that, they become better individuals. There's a lot of coaches that have agendas. I'm going to tell you right now, if you do, leave your agendas at home. Yeah, that's the worst thing. We are servants. I'm going to use that word again. We are servants. And when we're servants of the game, we can't have an agenda because it's not about us. A lot of people ask me, what's the most gratifying thing for you? It's not about the accolades that I get. I could care less about all the publicity that I get as a coach. I think my love for the game supersedes all of that. The number one thing that makes me happy is to see a player get better from working on one thing, they take it to a game, they see it be successful, and they look back at you and say, yeah, coach. Just that part of helping an athlete understand your work pays off. It pays off. Again, I don't care what we're teaching. I don't care if you guys are teaching left-hand layups, right-hand layups. I don't care if you're teaching the kid how to just understand how to dribble with their right hand. Okay? The energy that you put into it is what they're going to receive from it. So again, I'm the type of guy that I'm very inclusive. So I am going to pull information out of you all today. You guys are here to learn, right? And so the best way you learn is you ask questions about what you want to learn. I don't care what question it is, how many opportunities you guys have to be in a room with a guy like myself to ask any question you want about basketball or anything. So for the next 30, 20 minutes, I want you guys to really open up your minds. Listen, I told you we're family. There's no ego here, man. You guys, it's just like we're all sitting in our living room talking. So let's talk basketball. I want to really get knowledge from you guys and what you want to learn and what questions that you have on the game. So I want to open up the floor so we can start. If you guys don't start, I'm just going to start pointing at people and then we'll start our conversation. So anybody, feel free. Who's going to start?